Hello and happy St. Patty's Day! I have my leprechaun earrings and my Clara necklace and a super awesome book from Ireland that talks about the adventures of Shamrock Sean. Shamrock Sean's a little leprechaun. The first story we're going to read is Shamrock Sean and the Wishing Well. Shamrock Sean got out of bed and rubbed his sleepy eyes. He looked out of the window at the clear blue sunny skies. It's such a lovely day, he said. I know just what I'll do. I'll go down to the wishing well and make a wish or two. He ran across the meadow, he ran right through the wood until he reached the wishing well, and next to it he stood. But he couldn't see inside, for the wishing well was tall. He said, "It's not fair. I'm really far too small." He moved a big square stone and climbed up on the rim. Look at all the effort. Then the silly leprechaun leaned over and fell in. Whoa! He shouted very loudly, "Oh, someone help me, please. I'm here inside the wishing well with water to my knees." He got very cold and hungry in that wishing well so deep. He tried to climb the wall, but found it was too steep. How was he going to get out? He waited and he waited. It seemed like hours and hours. Then suddenly he remembered the wishing well's great powers. Shamrock Sean closed his eyes and wished with all his might. "I wish that I was home," he said. There was a flash of light. At once he was back home again, his feet still soaking wet. "I wished and it came true," he said. "It's the best wish I've made yet." Such a fun little way to end the day by a nice warm fire after going for a little swim. The next one we've got is Shamrock Sean and the Bird's Nest. One day in the springtime, Shamrock Sean worked near the hedge, digging in his garden. He was planting greens and veg. He leaped upon his garden spade to have a little rest, and from the corner of his eye he spied a small bird's nest. He climbed between the branches and he stood upon one leg. There, hidden down inside the nest, he saw a single egg. What's he gonna do with an egg? By miracle of nature, the egg began to crack. It made him lose his balance, and he stumbled and fell back. Oof. Just then the mother bird appeared and said, "What did you do? My little egg's not due to hatch for another day or two." Sean said, "I just stood on the branch to get a better view. I didn't touch your little egg. Honestly, it's true." Oh, Mama Bird's not too happy. What's gonna happen? "I must find worms," said Mother Bird, "but since he's newly born, I can't go off in search of food and leave him on his own." "I've got it! Don't you worry," responded Shamrock Sean. "You stay here and leave the food to this here leprechaun." Where's he gonna find food for a bird? So Sean ran to his garden, where the soil is freshly tilled. He collected worms in handfuls till a bucket load was filled. Look at all those wiggly worms! He came back to the hungry chick and said, "I've worms galore. If there's not enough to feed him, I can get a whole lot more." "Thank you, Sean, you're very kind," the mother bird then said, and she lifted up a wing to pat him gently on the head. "I thought the leprechauns were mean, or so I have been told, but now I know it isn't true. You're worth your weight in gold." It's a lot of gold. Leprechauns, they're pretty mischievous. Shamrock Sean, he's pretty nice. And then he goes fishing. Do you think he's gonna catch a big fish? I don't know if he's prepared to catch a big fish. Shamrock Sean went fishing down by the river's edge. His rod was just a little stick he'd found beside the hedge. To it he tied a piece of string, and that would be the line. His hook was just a safety pin, but it would do just fine. He put the stick between two stones, he fixed it firm and tight, then laid down in the summer sun and waited for a bite. After many hours of waiting, the rod began to twitch. Shamrock Sean said to himself, "This must be one big fish." Or could it be a heavy boot? Or might it be a rag? But then he saw the safety pin had hooked a leather bag. I wonder what's inside the bag. He opened up the bag and could not believe his eyes, for it was full of precious gems. What a great surprise! Leprechauns love treasure. He put his hand into the bag and moved it all about. He found a note and trembled as he read the message out. "Whoever finds my little bag must not remove one gem, or I, the evil river witch, will cast a spell on them." Shamrock Sean is honest, so he closed the bag up tight. He threw it back into the stream with all his strength and might. Uh-oh. It hit the water with a splash as he fell upon the ground. Then a big fish grabbed his foot and dragged him river bound. "Let me go!" cried Shamrock Sean. He flapped his arms and screamed. Then suddenly he woke up. It had all just been a dream. On the soft grass in the sun, upon the bank so steep, he'd rolled into the water when he'd fallen fast asleep. He crawled out of the water and the rod began to twitch. "Oh no!" he cried as he ran home. "Here comes the river witch!" And that is the adventures of Shamrock Sean. I hope you guys have a fabulous St. Paddy's Day. See you later.